how India's second wave of the Me Too movement started. We're in the second wave because after Raya Sarkar's list last year, calling out academic harassers, and now in the second wave, which is even stronger and far more reaching. So ladies, let's put it into context, because history has always been written by men, and I think now as we women finally get the chance to rewrite it, we need the facts to be clear. So let's begin by asking, how did India's Me Too movement start, and why has it been so long in the making? I'll start with you, Rituparna.
I think it's been long coming. And I think every few years we have women who have talked about workplace harassment, which is a particularly dear issue to me because it affects everything else. I think what happened with Raya Sarkar's list last time was they were anonymous accounts, and I think she got really criticized for the fact that it was anonymous, unfairly criticized. Okay. And we're doing the same thing right now, right? I mean, the due process isn't anything greater that we're doing now. It's the same thing. We started with anonymous account. I mean, at least, I think the both of us were not anonymous, but the others, the bulk of them were anonymous. And it's not any different from Raya's. But I think I don't know if I can call it an advantage, but I think the advantage we've had is A, Twitter, B, we've put our faces and names behind it, and we called people out and tagged them.
So I remember seeing the Kavanaugh hearings and Ford's testimony, and it's uncanny how at the same time Tanushree Datta's case was playing out on social media, and I'm sitting there thinking that this is the exact same story playing out, where two women have spoken about their past trauma and they are not being believed. I think that is the point where I think the collective women's anger crystallized. Yeah. That no matter what we do, here's the evidence, we will not be believed. And Raya's from 1 year ago, that's why I said I step in here to kind of put the responsibility on the media here, because you had the list. All you had to do, you had the names. All you had to do was to go and investigate each of those names and put it through due process, if you think that will help.
I think in a way we have become trauma keepers.
Oh my God.
Like mental trauma health is in shambles. Everyone sitting here, all of us, our mental health are just doing terribly at the moment. A lot of these women who are coming out on DMs and telling their stories, they have families now. And they have kids now, and some of them have horrific rape stories. Even with a certain Bollywood director, this woman came to me and told me her rape story of being drugged and raped, where it was a horrific story, and she is very well known. Like, she has enough credibility to come out, but she's afraid, like her parents, what they'll go through, her kid, what they'll go through. But she just wants people to know, right? Like, I want people to know that this is a story that happened to me and it is valid and my trauma is valid, and know that this person is bad. Like with a lot of them, they just don't want to take due course or press charges, because the trauma that comes with that process is also like a lot. And some of them are not privileged enough to have that support system.
If I can just come in here, I think for me, we were speaking about the impact that it's having. For me, the moment of realization came when I saw that apology letter coming from Sinta to Tanushree Datta. When they have acknowledged that they have made a mistake by not acknowledging the harassment she went through, and just looking at the physical, the fine about not shooting or whatever. But that shift in the mindset, from such a patriarchal industry where the industry body acknowledges that she has had trauma caused due to that harassment. Yeah. That was the moment I said, yes, this is working. People in authority positions where they can make a difference in policy are taking note in an industry like the film industry, and that industry has stories waiting to be told.